Welcome to Combat Mission Shock Force 2 Battle Mania, a desert showdown meeting engagement. I rushed to the town, which was the main objective, with an Abrams and a Javelin team sitting in Overwatch. And I was surprised to not get any contacts, but that changed quickly.
Listen.
As a Syrian horde rushed over the ridge, Dothraki style. But instead of Khaleesi leading the charge, it was Katsumoto. The Syrians were brave, but the charge ended in ruin. Little did I know that was only wave 1. Before showing the rest of the battle, let me back up and put it all in a better context. Starting with a quick overview of the map and force selection. The map is 1,000 by 800 meters with 5 objectives. One minor objective in each corner, and the town in the center is the large major objective. The town sits in a bowl of a circular ridge, and the corner objectives are all outside of the ridgeline. I did not think it would be possible to keep Gunsalot out of the town, so my plan was to push the major objective and capture one of Gunsalot's back objectives. The left side was completely open and would be very costly to cross. The right objective had a patch of woods and, importantly, another crescent-shaped ridge that would be a key piece of terrain to hold. So I chose to take the right objective and just defend my left side. So the force I chose to accomplish this task would center around a Bradley rifle company. The company would have 7 squads instead of 9 and would be a mix of green, regular vet, and crack units. First platoon was ordered to rush into town and play defense and try to survive. Second platoon would set up a firing position in the right woods and the crescent ridge, and then they would advance into the back of the right objective, which would undoubtedly be a tough task because it's such an easily defendable reverse slope. Third platoon would be held back just behind second platoon. It is the platoon with the highest leadership, experience, and motivation, and their job is to finish the attack on the right after the inevitable casualties that second platoon receives. I also got 3 Bradleys and 2 Abrams to assist in the right-hand assault. On the left and back center, I plan to take positions on the ridge with a strong assortment of machine guns, 10 all-map mortar teams, 4 sniper teams, and an Abrams and a Bradley. As mentioned before, 1st Platoon took up a position in town under a small smoke screen, while 2nd Platoon rushed the woods and the crescent ridge. The 2 right side Abrams are sitting overwatch as the infantry advances. My mortars get set up on my left with a good view of Gunsalot's back ridge line leading into town. Then at the end of turn 2, I get a group of 8 tank contacts on my right. So on turn 3, I repositioned my middle Abrams so that the smoke was shielding the Abrams' left flank, while it had line of sight on the back right where Gunsalot's 8 tanks were. I also ordered my infantry forward through the woods to get line of sight, and I managed to get my 3 Bradleys and 2 Abrams into really good hold down positions. The 8 tank contacts turned into 9, which all unloaded their main guns into the woods. 2 of my infantry half squads decided they wanted no part of that. Despite this significant threat to my infantry, I waited to see if Gunsalot would advance into the kill zone, and he did. It was a quick and brutal fight. My Bradley got 2 tanks, an infantry unit got 1, and my Abrams got 5. I'm not sure if Gunsalot ever saw anything. Meanwhile, in the center of the map, as the Dothraki Syrians crested the ridge, I was able to direct fire 81mm mortar onto them. Then as they moved into the trees, a second mortar team targeted them there. Then, what appears to be an entire company of Syrians charged into the woods in perfect timing with a pre-planned, off-map 81mm mortar barrage. Bradley autocannon and HE from my center Abrams and 2 more 60mm mortars added to the absolute carnage. It's the end of turn 6 and a good time to give a status. On my left, I have my mortars and machine guns and sniper teams in good order, and there's even one half squad pushing forward on the far left. In the middle, I have my Abrams and Bradley in Overwatch, and first platoon of the Bradley company has a good position in the backside of the town. Then on my right, both platoons of the Bradley company are in good order. Gunsalot has 8 burning tanks, and there's 2 more here that I know are alive. I think these 4 in the back right, I think those are ghost icons. And then the bulk of Gunsalot's infantry force has really suffered terribly and is mostly in retreat. With Gunsalot's attack defeated, it was time to press forward. My Abrams destroys 1 tank trying to retreat. It looks like the crew of this tank just bails out. With the last 2 Syrian tanks destroyed, my Bradley presses forward on the right.
Enemy tank spotted.
And gets destroyed by another line of tanks. Fortunately, I followed regulations to always keep an infantry screen in front of my Abrams, and this squad KOs a Syrian tank before it can get a flank shot off. The line of 4 enemy tanks becomes 5 with some supporting infantry, so I order a mortar barrage with the use of a TRP to keep his spotting ability as low as possible. My Abrams hunt forward and the 5 tanks become 7, but my Abrams have a decisive spotting, targeting, and rate of fire advantage, and 5 more Syrian tanks are destroyed. At this point, I offer Katsumoto extremely generous ceasefire terms. His response?
What happened to the warriors at Thermopylae?
Dead to the last man.
An entire new wave of Dothraki Syrians charge over the red line. Bradleys with the autocannon decimate their ranks. And if they had gotten past the autocannon, direct line of sight mortars would have certainly broken. As the brave Syrians flee behind the ridge, this touching moment was witnessed.
Roger. Checking fire. End of mission.
And that was basically it. U.S. total victory. Gunsalot had 406 casualties and 20 tanks lost. The U.S. side had 6 casualties and a lost Bradley. It looks like Gunsalot's forces were entirely green and conscript, including the T-62s, which just had no chance against my veteran Abrams. The Abrams got 14 T-62 kills, the Bradleys and infantry destroyed 3 each. Thanks a lot to Gunsalot for the game. The off-game banter with Gunsalot is hilarious. Check out his YouTube channel. He should be posting his view of this game soon. Again, thanks for watching, happy gaming, and never let facts get in the way of a good story. The left side was completely open, and the left side was why can't I not talk?